One of the things that I think is really important to understand is that we are a republic. And so often, if you read in the press, you hear politicians talking about, how we are a democracy. When Benjamin Franklin came out of that very, very hot room where they were constructing the Constitution, where our framers were working very hard to create the document we now know as the United States Constitution, he was asked by a woman, well, what do we have? And he looked at her and he said, a republic, ma'am, if we can keep it. And so the next question then is, well, what is a republic? And we have with us today one of my favorite historians, Lenny Mailand. Why don't you tell us what is a republic and how does it differ from a pure democracy?
Well, with a republic, we're looking at a system of government where you have citizens electing representatives to a central government. Those representatives then act on behalf of the citizenry in order to make decisions that are based for the entire body of the citizens. In a pure democracy, we're looking at a system where everyone gets a say on every event, every issue that's going to be decided, every legislative issue. And the difference is that when we go to that sort of a system, we are then putting ourselves in the position to really have what our founders would have called a form of mob rule. It becomes the tyranny of the majority rather than a sense that the majority is speaking through its representatives who will then carefully consider various issues. In a sense, a democracy is much more like the concept of the general will, which Jean-Jacques Rousseau put forward in The Social Contract. In the fruit of Rousseauian thought coming out of the social contract, we get the French Revolution, whereas the English Enlightenment gave us a different approach to this similar ideas, and we get the American Revolution, which was a much more conservative in nature revolution. I think the other thing that's really helpful to think about in terms of a republic is, with a republic, what you get is a distribution of power. Power is not seated in a single entity. That is a protection for the people and for their liberties. And what we've seen historically is that any time that we see a ruler, a leader of some kind, a group of people beginning to consolidate power to the center, we are on the road to tyranny.